Hi, I'm Lisa Forde, founder and principal at the Australian Centre for Meditation and Mindfulness, and I'm going to talk to you today about grounding. Grounding is one of the fundamental practices that we teach at ACMM. It's a practice for you to use on an everyday basis and even right throughout the day. It can be a longer meditation, quite a long meditation, or it can be a really short 2-minute practice that you can do at any time through the day. So we're going to talk about different ways to use grounding and some hints about using grounding. So grounding is one of those things that you can really spend a long time with, as I said, or do very quickly. So an example of doing it very quickly is simply to sit here right now. Maybe you'd like to do it with me and just look around the room using your visual sense. Notice what's here really acutely, all the details. Then connecting into what you can hear. It might help to close your eyes and just listen to what you can hear in your environment, perhaps in the room and outside the room. Perhaps there are sounds in your own body, your tummy gurgling or your heart beating or your breath. Become aware of your sensation of touch. So becoming aware of what you can feel yourself sitting on right now. Maybe the pressure of your thighs against your chair, your back against your chair, your feet against the ground, the sensation of your clothing against your skin, or the air against the exposed parts of your skin. And then notice the taste in your mouth. These might be related to the smells and fragrances in the room as well. There might be the smell of something you've just cooked or eaten. Essential oils or other smells in the room. And just notice again how these smells translate into taste. You might taste your own saliva or something you've eaten recently. And there you go, there's a quick 2-minute practice for you to try. So using this process has so many benefits. It brings you into the present, it allows you to become mindful quite quickly. And it also helps you to digest any sort of experiences that you have. So something like negative emotions, or even helps you to ground and be more in touch with positive emotions. And it just helps you to settle yourself and become more present in the moment. So when you're using grounding as a practice for yourself, or when you're guiding it for others, ensure that you use as many senses as possible. Some senses can be more active or easily stimulated than others at any particular time. So it might be that, on a particular day your sense of smell's not too good, but it might be that your sense of hearing's really good. So try all 5 senses rather than just sticking to 1 or 2. And also when you're guiding grounding meditation, you don't know whether the people in your audience are, which senses they're attuned to on that particular day. So guiding them through all 5 of the senses ensures that they will be covered, with one of the senses at least. So the longer you pay attention to a particular sense, then the more sensation you'll be able to detect with that sense. So make sure that when you're guiding meditation, or when you're experiencing this meditation, so the one we did before was just a 2-minute meditation, but when you're doing this meditation normally, it would go for a lot longer. A grounding meditation can go for half an hour, 40 minutes on its own. So when you're guiding a grounding meditation, or even using it at the beginning of a meditation as one of the first stages, make sure that you leave enough time for people to sense into each sense. So for example, when you're describing or when you're guiding people through their visual sense, you might take their awareness to particular aspects of their visual sense, like notice what's in the room around you and really see the things that you can see. So you might notice the window frame, the wood that it's made of, even the cracks in the frame, the paint, the glass. Really noticing things in detail and giving people time and space to be able to do that. So it's another really important aspect of guiding meditation, is giving an instruction and then allowing them time to carry that instruction out so that they don't feel rushed. So you don't have to guide them to really, really specific things like what I just did, but you can take them to you can use general terms, things like notice the what materials things are made of. Notice the colours. Really see the textures. You might even reach out and touch something and notice its texture. Notice the objects in the room. Any pictures on the wall. Any furniture. Notice the spaces in the room. So you can see that there are lots of different dimensions of even just one sense. You know, there's so much you can explore in just the visual, and that's only what I demonstrated there was just a little bit. So you can do that for each of the senses if you want to. Also, notice the sensations that come to mind in the first few seconds when you've just entered into a sense. So if I say, listen to the sounds you can hear, notice what comes in that first few seconds. Or if I say, notice the inner sensations that you're feeling, just notice what comes rather than thinking about, oh yeah, I had a sore leg yesterday, I wonder if that's still there. You know, really not allowing the intellect to take charge, but rather just allowing that spontaneous, what you sense in the moment to be what you focus on. And usually what's most valuable is what comes to mind in those first few seconds. That spontaneity allows you to tap into the things that probably need the most attention right now. Remember, there isn't any right or wrong answer, and there's no right or wrong way to do this in terms of what you pick up on, but these are just some hints. So sometimes the sensations might not be obvious. If they're very subtle, you can amplify them by trying to perceive that same feeling or that same thing through another sense. So for example, if you see a bird outside, you might tune into the sounds that bird is making or something like that. There could be different dimensions to one thing. Or you can try talking to yourself about it. So if you feel a sensation in your body that's quite subtle, you can sit there and kind of talk to yourself about that sensation. I can feel that in my stomach, and it's kind of like a pulling sensation. And then as you do that, you know, that allows that sensation to come into your awareness a bit more and to kind of amplify itself. If you find that your inner sensations feel overwhelming, so just say there's quite a strong sensation in your body, or you're feeling quite anxious, or there's a lot of negative emotion that's sitting in you that you're aware of, then focus on what's going on outside your body. And same goes vice versa. So if there's a really loud sound outside, then focus on your inside your body. So focus on the opposite of what is the disturbing sensation or disturbing sense. So this helps you balance out what's happening and promotes grounding. So let's just try that now. So if you just become aware of something in your outer environment that's quite a little bit jarring or strident, maybe a strong colour, or maybe there's a loud sound outside or something like that. Maybe focusing on a strong colour is a good place to start, or something that's quite bright in your environment. So looking at that now and focusing on your attention on that and just noticing the intensity of that. Then take yourself to your inner awareness and allow yourself to become aware of something inside your body, taking your awareness inside your body to the same level of intensity as that stimulating bright thing that you're looking at outside of your body. Just trying to create the same level of focus and intensity inside your body to match the level of intensity outside the body. And I find that when I do that, there's this overall opening up, there's kind of just a relaxation that happens, and it all just seems to blend into one unified sensation. So if the strong sensation is on the inside, say you've got some strong pain, like emotional pain in your body, or there's maybe some physical pain in the body, then we can do the same thing but vice versa. So allowing yourself to focus on any sensation you feel right now, just tuning into your body, noticing what's there. And allow yourself to find a sensation that feels the strongest for now. When you've found that, take yourself to the corresponding outer part of your body. So my sensation is in my stomach, and the outer part of my body that corresponds to that, that's touching something, is my back. So just perhaps if the sensation is in your legs, you might use your feet and the sensation of the pressure of your feet against the ground, or the pressure of your thighs against your chair. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the sensation of that outer pressure to match the intensity of the inner sensation. And just relax as you're doing this as much as possible. And as I do that, I actually notice that the inner sensation just dissolves. It may or may not happen for you. And sometimes it actually intensifies the sensation. But it's opening up that sensation, and it's opening up the contraction in your body to release whatever's sitting there that's in your system. So grounding's something you can do to support your feelings at any time of the day. You can use it when you're doing a one-seat meditation to help support anything strong that's coming up. And what it does is it opens you up and it helps to release that, as I said, that contraction in the body. And it's like it plugs you into a power socket, with each sense sort of being each prong that, plugs you in. And when you do that, it allows you to release and relax. It allows you to digest whatever's sitting in your system, maybe something that's been triggered today or something that's been stimulated. It could be emotions or sensations, anxiety or whatever. And then as that opening, that relaxation takes place, there's kind of a sense of the inner and the outer just becoming one field. And when you do this, there's this kind of natural process of aliveness, connection and presence that happens. And it's because your system's just becoming more available to whatever's happening in the moment without interference. There's this kind of just this aliveness that opens up in the moment because you're kind of stepping back and just allowing that inherent beautiful sense of essence to come through. It's a really efficient way to bring you into presence right here and now. So just to recap those 3 steps, there's the awareness of the outer senses to begin with. Then there's awareness of your inner sensations. And then the 3rd step of grounding is awareness of both at the same time. Now, if you're running a full-length grounding meditation, you would include those 3 steps. However, as the first stage of a guided meditation, you can either use the 1st step, the 2nd step, or the 3rd step, or all 3. It's completely up to you. If you just use the 1st step, then your awareness of your inner sensations can be included in that body connection stage in the next step. So that kind of flows really well. So yeah, I hope that's helped you get to know grounding a little bit more. It's honestly such an incredible tool, and yeah, just so versatile, so flexible and so quick. That's the other thing about it. It's so quick at helping you dissolve whatever's happening in your body. And we used it a lot in our retreats. So if you want to learn to explore grounding in a bit more depth, then do come along to the retreats where we'll be doing it, a lot of grounding right through the day. So grounding is something you can also do when you're out walking, something you can do when you're with other people. You know, all it takes is that you become aware of those outer senses and those inner sensations. And the more you practice it, the quicker the process becomes. So yeah, I could be just, you know, walking through the park and noticing the colours, the sounds, the sensation of the breeze against my skin, or how whether it feels warm or cool, the sensation of my feet walking along on the ground, all those things, the smells, the tastes, all those things, and it all brings me into presence. It all brings me into mindfulness as I'm walking through that area. I can do it while I'm cooking, just cooking, getting the smells of the food, feeling the texture of what I'm preparing, all those sorts of things. And I can do it when I'm talking to people. So I might do it while I'm talking to people by just pressing my body against the chair that I'm sitting in. And that helps me ground, or pressing my foot against the floor so that I'm creating that outer sensation, or making that more amplified and more acute. I can smell the smells. I can really hear the sounds while I'm talking to people. And I can really see the person and what's around them as well. And I can also notice my inner sensations as I'm listening to them or talking to them. Notice what's going on for you. So it'd be great to see, to hear about how you go with experimenting with grounding, maybe talking to your coach about it, or maybe just putting some comments into the Facebook Students and Graduates group about how you go. I'd love to hear about it.